Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's been a minute since I posted anything, and I apologize, but I've been pretty busy with everything going on. Staying healthy, though, fortunately. Hopefully you guys are doing the same. Anyway, today, bringing you another Mark 18 video. Quick disclaimer, last time I posted a video on my Mark 18 SBR, a few people got their panties in a bunch. They thought it was going to be some kind of clone video or a history of video. That's not what this is, so if you're expecting that, go ahead, click away. I'm just going to be talking about my setup with the Daniel Defense Mark 18 pistol. Daniel Defense sells it, markets it as their Mark 18, so I'm going to be referring to it as a Mark 18 throughout the video. Don't get upset, okay? Disclaimer over. You might also be wondering why I got another one. You already got one Mark 18. Doesn't look like you've shot that one that much. Why do you have another one? Well, because I can, mostly. But also, Mark 18 is just, a favorite of mine. I've always just been fond of the gun. And when I found this guy, it was actually priced really, really well, especially for the accessories that came with it from the factory. I've never seen Daniel Defense put anything like this out. We'll talk about the unusual upgrades that they included, but all of it came in at around the same price that a regular Daniel Defense Mark 18 usually comes for, around $17.50 or so. So when I saw all the extras, I was like, yep, gotta have it. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get into this guy. Again, not a review, just a show and tell. Only have about 250 rounds through this so far. And, no issues to report, but again, that's not a serious test or anything. At the back, we have the SBA3 Collapsible Brace. We've seen this on my channel before. It's nice and all, but I have lately become really fond of the new A4s. Not going to go ahead and swap it out right away, though. Just seems kind of like a waste of money to do that. The SBA3s are still great braces. Maybe when I find a good deal on an A4, I'll swap it out, but for now, it serves its purpose just fine. You do get 2 QD cups on either side, and I do believe it's a 5-position collapsible brace. In the right cup here, I'm running a Geissele strategic 2-point sling that can be converted to a 1-point sling. Now, this is also a new product to me. I just wanted to try a bunch of different new stuff to me with this build. Really, every build I ever do is always just something I'm trying that's new to me. So when I picked this sling up, thought I'd give it a try. And although I haven't really run it very hard yet, just doing static stuff at the range, LARPing around the house, nothing super exciting, but I haven't been really impressed with this guy yet. Maybe it's because I'm used to my Blue Force Gear slings, I don't know. But one, it's just not as comfortable, and two, this adjustment tab right here is just really stiff. Maybe I need to break it in, I don't know. But it just does not glide back and forth as smoothly as my Vickers slings, so I don't know. You guys let me know, do I need to break it in? I'll give it some more time and see if I end up liking it more later on, but for now, I'm not blown away or anything. The end plate here gives you another QD cup, which is nice if you like to run your slings there. And then the whole pistol is covered in what Daniel Defense calls Mil-Spec Plus coating. It's a brownish coating, it's brownish / FDE coating, and I think it looks really nice. It's my favorite coating that Daniel Defense puts out. I like it quite a bit. Always wanted a rifle in this color, or pistol in this case. So that was another one reason I picked this guy up. And if you actually had the SBR version, it would come with a stock that is also in that coating. I think it looks super, super sick when it's all matched out like that. But the SBA3 will have to do the way it is for now. Pistol grip also has that same Mil-Spec Plus coating, and the black portion here is rubberized. Not sure if we've talked about my feelings on the Daniel Defense grips before, but they're just okay. They kind of seem a little bit like an 8.2 grip to me, where I just have a lot of grip left over after I grab the gun. I prefer to the Magpul and BCM grips, where I can have more of my hand around the grip. It feels like you have a better purchase on those than you do with this guy. But, you know, all in all, it's not a bad pistol grip. It is integrated into the magwell here on the trigger guard, which is cool, I guess. And the safety. Next thing about this guy, came with a ambidextrous mil-spec style safety. So it is long on both sides, and it has that just same classic mil-spec style to it. Now, I do like the mil-spec safeties, so I don't have an issue with this. But this side, being as long as it is, does kind of nudge my finger when I'm switching it on. Not a huge deal. I can work around that. So, good on Daniel Defense. Not sure if they're doing that with all their new pistols and rifles, but I was kind of surprised to see that on there. Now, you probably already noticed it. There is a G on that trigger. This guy came with a Geissele SSA from the factory. And yeah, this is still at the same price point as your regular Mark 18. I don't know if this was a special edition or what, but when I saw that, it's really what convinced me that I needed to pick this up. You know how I feel about Geissele stuff. You know, great trigger. I guess I can ghost this one with you. Mil-spec safety, or mag release, you know, does the job. No need to change it. Daniel Defense 32 round magazine empty, and nothing in the chamber. So I'm pretty sure I've shown you this trigger before on another build, but we'll do it again real quick. You do have your 2-stage trigger. First stage here, about a 4.5 pound trigger in all. Sorry, just knocked the camera right there. And your reset, super loud, super tactile, great product. Okay, so Geissele trigger, that's awesome. On the other side, next thing Daniel Defense changed up is their bolt catch, bolt release. They're starting to make more of their own products and replacing those mil-spec things that they had on their guns before, and I like that. Even though this isn't that much of an improvement, you know, you do get a little bit more surface area. It's nice to see them making their own stuff, and I'm not going to knock them for doing that. You know, mil-spec bolt catches, bolt releases work great, and this one so far works great too, so I can't complain. I think that's it on this side. Let's shoot back over, because I always forget to mention it. The desk cover is polymer. Don't know if you care about that. I don't. Some people just have to have their classic desk covers, but it's just a desk cover, so for me, I really don't care. Daniel Defense has been doing that for a while, so that's not exactly a new thing here. What is new, though, is this. Their grip and rip charging handle. Finally, Daniel Defense has stopped putting those cheap mil-spec charging handles. Yes, they work, but man, I don't like the mil-spec charging handles, especially when there's so many good products out there to do that job for you. Finally, Daniel Defense has thrown their own into the market, and it is ambidextrous, smooth operation, really nice, and supposedly... Sorry everybody, had to make a quick cut there. Dogs decided they wanted to step into the video. But where I left off last, by the way, weapon still empty. When I left off, I was talking about the charging handle and how supposedly Daniel Defense made this a gas venting charging handle. Not quite sure how they accomplished that. Unlike the Radian, which it's obvious how it's accomplishing the gas venting. It has cuts along the front of the handle here. The Daniel Defense charging handle does not have any cuts along the front of the handle there. It, not handle, I guess neck of the charging handle. It doesn't have any of those cuts there. So I'm not exactly sure how they're accomplishing the venting. I'm not an engineer. Maybe it's in the shape of the overall design. I'm not sure. I haven't shot this suppressed because it's not compatible yet with any of my suppressors. But if I get around to doing that in the future, I will follow up with you guys, let you know how it compared to my other charging handles as far as venting gases away. But overall, I'm still impressed with the charging handle. Really happy that they're finally, doing away with mil-spec parts and adding some quality components to their guns that really make the price that you pay for these things worthwhile. Forward of that, I left the Riz 2 rail on there this time around. If you saw my last Mark 18 video, you saw I replaced it with a Geissele. Well, this time I'm keeping it classic, and again, just to keep the whole pistol uniform, I'm going to leave it on there so that the Cerakote job really shines at its best. So I'm just one of those kinds of guys that has to have everything kind of uniform. The brake on the end of the barrel here is Daniel Defense's Muzzle Climb Mitigator Gen 2. Now, it's the first comp that I've ever really run on a pistol, or rifle for that matter, and I was quite surprised. 223 5.56 of course doesn't recoil very much, but I was still surprised just how smooth this felt to shoot with that on the end there. Real big difference from my other pistols and even my other Mark 18. Of course, that could also have to do with the upgraded gas port size. This is a newer Daniel Defense than my other Mark 18, so the gas port size has been reduced. In the past, Mark 18s from Daniel Defense were known to have really open gas ports, made it a really violent system, but I think they've fixed that. Not sure what I can attribute more to the pleasant recoil, but I'm sure that this guy helped plenty. Unfortunately, though, it will have to make way for a surefire break so that I can suppress this bad boy, but till then, I'll enjoy it. About 250 rounds downrange so far with it, and I'd recommend it if you're into comps. Check that one out. Okay, moving up top to what I've got on the pick rail. Running Magpul Pros. Those are their iron sights, and they're pretty good iron sights. Normally I like to go with Troy's or something like that because I like the HK style, but again, I was just trying different stuff. I have angled ones on my BCM, but I've never run the plain Jane iron sights, folding iron sights on the top. So giving that a shot, and they're pretty rock solid, really firm. I do like the lockup when they're in the down or up position. They're really there. You gotta mean to flip them on, and they're gonna stay there unless you mean to flip them down, which is great. You don't get rattling. They're really solid on there. I like that a lot. Riz 2, by the way, didn't come with any QD points, so I had to add my favorite little accessory from Magpul on the top of the rail there. Right about where I like to run my sling. May want to push that forward a little bit, but that's where I got it right now. Working all right. And then I went with a optic setup that I've been meaning to get my hands on for a while. EOTech XPS 2-2 with a G33x3 magnifier. This is a newer EOTech, so supposedly they got all that thermal drift stuff figured out. But I don't think that was ever going to be an issue for me anyway. I'm not in such a harsh environment. I don't really have the angle here to show you what the dot's going to look like, but this is the model without night vision that has your classic donut of death, your dot in the center, and then one below that for your ranging bullet drop, whatever it is. I didn't really care for that second dot, but I couldn't find a combo setup with just that single dot, so this is what I ended up with, and it's going to work just fine for me. Really liking this G33 magnifier. Super impressed with how easy it is to flip side to side without it being so easy that it gets knocked over when you're running around. You'd have to hit it pretty hard off something to get that swing over, and there's no rattle. It really does stay there. You can't force it back over just by doing that. You actually got to come up, grab it, and bring it back to the side. But it's just fun to do. I've always wanted one of these, and I'm really excited to get some time behind it. Both of them come with QDs on the mounts, which is really nice for moving them on and off. But I'll probably be leaving these guys on here. And now I think that brings me to the end of the video. Guys, again, thank you for watching. Another show and tell down, and a few more to come before long, hopefully. I've made a few purchases throughout the quarantine. Not panic buying, just, fun buying. So, as always, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.